Welcome back to the Spark and Ignite Your Marketing podcast. I am Beverly Cornell, your marketing therapist, fairy godmother of brand clarity, and your guide on this magical journey of building a brand that feels like home. I'm also the founder of Wickedly Branded. We have made it to the last episode of the Awakening Your Brand Magic solo episode series. This is where I think is the most fun. This is where you stop hiding and you stop hesitating and you start to really shine. Today, we are talking all about amplifying the brand magic that you awakened in the first episode of this series, and then you activated in the second episode of the series. So if you haven't listened to those two episodes, you should go back and listen to them because this builds on each other. So this part, I think, is where it gets fun. This episode is how to get visible, stay consistent, and grow in a way that feels exactly like you. Not loud, not salesy, not exhausting, but intentional, magnetic, and fully aligned to you and your business. Most entrepreneurs hesitate to amplify. Why? Let's be honest. This is the part where most purpose-driven solopreneurs simply freeze up. They've done the work to awaken their spark and their magic, maybe even activated their brand with beautiful messaging and lots of visuals and those great brand photo shoot photos. But now it's time to be seen. It feels scary and vulnerable. It's like standing on a stage in your favorite dress, hoping that no one critiques the hemline. And I really understand. I've had those moments too. Launching this very podcast, it brought up every voice in my head whispering, who do you think you are? But friend, let me tell you something that I have learned. Visibility is not vanity. It is service. When you hide your message, you hide the transformation that someone else is praying to have. They're praying for it. So the truth about visibility, let's kind of reframe this idea together. Amplifying your brand magic isn't about doing TikToks at midnight. If doing a TikTok makes your skin crawl, not really a fan of TikToks. I love that TikTok works for some people, but it doesn't feel genuine to me. It's about being where your people are, showing up with consistency, and inviting them into the story that only you can tell. So the brand spark is the awakening, the brand ignite is the activation, and this part of the process, this stage, is the brand blaze. This is the part where you fuel it and you keep the magic going. You can't awaken it and activate it and then let it be. You have to continue to fuel it. Let's walk through how you can do that without burning out. So you can fan the flames. We don't want you to burn out, okay? Burn out in exhaustion, but burn out the magic as well. The first thing you want to do is choose aligned visibility channels. Not all platforms are your platforms, and that is okay. Ask yourself, where do my dream clients already hang out? Where are they scrolling? What kind of content feels natural for me to create? For me, it's LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I love participating in LinkedIn. I love posting on LinkedIn. That format really works for me. But if you're like a storyteller, which I feel like I'm more of a storyteller, maybe it's a blog or a podcast like this. If you love conversations, try LinkedIn or maybe an Instagram Live. And if you're visual, try Pinterest or maybe YouTube is your jam. You do not have to be everywhere. You just have to be where it matters for you and for your particular clients that you love. Marketing is not about being loud. It is about being clear and consistent. Second thing you can do to amplify your magic is to create consistent story-driven content. The secret to momentum is not a viral post. It would be amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's not the secret. It's showing up consistently with a message that resonates, being persistent and consistent. I call it breadcrumb marketing, leaving little pieces of your heart, your expertise, and your magic all over the path that you've created so that dream clients, those very, very favorite people you love to work with, can find their way to you. Try rotating between these types of stories. This is your why, client transformations, testimonials, and the behind the scenes kind of content. Second part is how-tos. This is tips, quick wins, educational content. This is knowledge. This is informational content. And then lastly, hot takes. This is what you believe that sets you apart. This is your unique story, your journey to get here, your unique path, how your services are different, your unique value proposition. Talk about those things. The more you show up, the more familiar you become. And familiarity builds trust. And trust builds clients. So we always talk about know, like, trust in marketing. If they get to know you, they know you exist, and then they like your content, and then you build the trust for them to do work with you. Last thing is to systemize without losing your soul. This is where we add some structure and support to all of that magic you've awakened. You want to schedule your content in advance using a tool that you like. We like MetroCool. We'll put the link in the show notes that you can check out. But this tool helps us schedule everything out, see what's coming, make sure we've covered all of our content buckets, make sure that our social media matrix is solid, and we've spread it out across the platforms that we post on. You want to repurpose your content across those platforms. So a blog or a podcast can become quotes, emails, and even social posts. You want to be able to repurpose everything. You want to batch your content creation so you're not always scrambling. You can do it a month in advance. That way you're always a month out. And if you get sick or something happens, you're not freaking out that you have to get it done. Plus, once you get in a roll of it, it becomes more fun and you get creative and save that space. So schedule it on your calendar. Maybe it's the first Monday of every month. You schedule out your content. And then systems, I just want to make sure you understand, systems are not the enemy of creativity. The more systems I have made for myself, the more creative I have been able to be. They are the right and left limits, the guardrails that let your magic run free. When you have too many things happening, it's too distracting. It's too much to be able to really sit in your creativity. So having these more structured systems really allows you to create content and consistency that is good for you and your business. When your brand has rhythm, your message can become really unstoppable. So let me tell you about one of our clients. Her name was Tara. She was a Reiki practitioner and an intuitive coach that I worked with a few years ago. She had this amazing spark. She had beautiful visuals. She was actually very creative, but she was not getting clients. Why? Because she was hiding. She was posting once every few weeks with vague quotes. Her email list was completely radio silent, and she felt like showing up meant she was performing. This is not performative. We sat down during her session, and I said, Tara, what would it look like to show up like you're having a conversation with your future client every week? Like how you actually talk in your sessions. Maybe you put a picture on your screen when you're writing the blog post so that you can actually feel like you're having that conversation. And that changed everything for her. She started writing some really raw and loving emails. She shared Instagram stories of her morning rituals as a Reiki healer and intuitive coach, practices of meditation and yoga, and restorative therapies. She offered gentle invitations to book her monthly energy resets. And her business, it bloomed. Not because she was shouting or saying something didn't feel right or what everybody else was saying, but because she showed up consistently, clearly, and with her heart. So let's take a moment and check in with your brand. What am I holding back with my voice right now? What am I not sharing? What am I not saying? Sometimes the tough stuff, the vulnerable stuff, is the best stuff to share because it shows why you are the perfect person to guide someone to this transformation that you offer. What message do I want to be known for? When people talk about you, oh, Tara, she's a Reiki healer and she's an intuitive coach. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. You should totally check out her meditations. What would visibility look like if it felt joyful and safe for you? This is not about pressure. It is simply about presence. If this episode struck something inside of you, it felt, you know what, I needed to hear this today. Here's a couple options of what you can do next. You can go to our website, wickedlybranded.com, and you have a pop-up there that's a brand magic clarity quiz. Do that and see where you might be struggling a little bit and some really easy tips that you can get to help overcome those. Or you can book a clarity chat with me, a fit call with me, and we can talk through what's keeping you from being more visible. Or you can step into your full momentum And you can sign up for our deep dive 90-minute brand spark process, where at the end of it, you get a really clear brand spark blueprint and strategy of what the next best steps are for you, customized to you and your business. You don't have to do this alone. You were never meant to. We're here to help you. You have awakened the spark, your magic. You've activated your brand and the soul of your brand. And now it's time to amplify it loud enough, not shouting, loud enough for the people who need to hear it from you. Your brand is not just a business. It's about making impact. It's about more joy, more wellness, more kindness, more goodness in the world. It's about purpose. And when you let your brand shine, when you amplify that voice, you are lighting the path for others to have a transformation as well. I am so incredibly proud of you for listening to this podcast, for thinking through these questions, for questioning where you are, how you can step out of your comfort zone, do more to be visible and serve. I'm so proud of you. I'm Beverly Cornell, and this is the Spark and Ignite Your Marketing podcast. I want you to keep sparking, keep igniting, keep that fuel alive. Your brand magic is already within you. All you have to do is awaken it, activate it, and amplify it. Thank you so much for tuning into the Spark and Ignite Your Marketing podcast. I hope you found today's conversation or activation to be something clear and actionable that you can take back to your very own business. If you found this helpful, I'd love it if you take a moment to share your thoughts in a review. Not only does this help us see what's working and what you'd like to hear more of, but it also helps other business owners just like you find the sparks that they need. And if you know someone who could use today's tips, why not share this episode with them? A little inspiration can go a long way, and together we can help more people simplify their marketing and make their business shine.